episode 7 of Tomb of Annihilation. So last session you finally managed to reach the beleaguered Camp Vengeance, the camp of the Order of the Gauntlet, and you disembarked from your little canoes and went up and gained entry into the ramshackle affair that is Camp Vengeance. You noticed that for a start, around it was been dug a ditch which is sort of filling with pools of stagnant water. Inside is much the same. The drainage here is a problem with the heavy Chiltern rains has meant that it's all muddy everywhere, and large pools of water are gathering around. Mosquitoes which are plaguing the place, which are coming from the Aldani Basin, just off to the south there, mean that the whole place is rife with sickness and disease and mud, and generally looks like a fairly sorry state. There are some latrines which are slowly sinking into the mud at the northwest. You can hear the sounds of coughing and illness coming from the two round tents in front of you. In the centre there of the map there is a large command tent, and towards the rear there are a gathering of smaller tents in which the occupants, the guards, the Order of the Gauntlet soldiers sleep. There's surrounded by a wooden palisade with a number of wooden towers around them. You can see they are all occupied at the moment. There's a small pen in the southeast corner which has got some rather sickly looking goats sitting in it, looking rather sorry for themselves. And as you entered, you were greeted by the commander of the outpost, who is a Commander Niles Breakbone. He looks like this.
Breakbone.
And you finally reached here with Undril Silvertusk, a member of the Order of the Gauntlet who was making her way from the Sword Coast all the way down to Chult to join this expedition, which is here on a mission to try and rid the place of the undead menace. From the looks of things, it doesn't look like things are going too well. For starters, you know that they got overrun and moved from Camp Righteous in the north, and have taken up this more solid looking camp to further to the south. Commander Breakbone will look at you. Thank you for bringing these missives to me, and also of course Undril Silvertusk. You've done a good service to the Order of the Gauntlet today. Please feel free to spend the night here. We have a spare tent at the back with which you can stay if you wish, and I'd be pleased to offer you my company this evening around my dining table in the command tent, if you'd like to accept.
Sure.
Oh, gladly. If the food's good.
Sana will nod in awkward assent.
We make do with what we can under such trying conditions. He looks to one side and says, Pern, would you be so kind as to show the guests a tent where they can perhaps freshen up, and show them where there's some clean water, and before we have a meal. A lady steps forward towards you, who looks like this. She looks like another member, a warrior of the Order of the Gauntlet.
Wow, she looks invisible. Whatever. Did you say this person's name is?
and I've done something bad. 1 second.
It's just shown up for me.
The picture show up, but not a name.
She is a comely woman with long dark hair. Looks a little muddy, and as everyone does in here. And she's got rings under her eyes from the lack of sleep. She'll smile and nod towards you, and will say, "This way, if you please."
Did he say her name was Pern?
Yes, that's right. My name's Pern. I don't believe we've been formally introduced. Your name is?
Oh, I am Sana. These my companions, Woblin, Barlin, Glimmet, and Lina.
I'm pleased to meet you. You must be very able if you managed to make it this far with such a small group through the jungle.
The river was kind.
Kind to some people more than others.
The denizens of the river were less kind.
Yes, and they.
Which reminds me, is there a quartermaster in camp? I have need to resupply, and I have some goods that may be useful for you.
I'm sure that it can be arranged. I'll notify the quartermaster.
Thank you.
And we can. What sort of equipment were you needing, Sana?
I'm need to restock my ammunition. I seem to have lost a knife in the journey as well, and I think Woblin was looking for some new armor.
Well, if you have it, I don't. Depends.
Well, out here, if these people don't have it, nobody will.
Well, they don't seem to be the most well stocked, do they?
But they are armored.
But should we not be showing our tent and all that stuff first? Because, once we get that done, we can get our dinner.
We can walk and talk at the same time. There's no need to stand still and have a conversation, Alan.
You are walking and
Anyway,
talking.
are you okay, Balin? It's normally you're the one asking people these questions. You're strangely quiet.
There was a dinner planned.
The crocodile.
There was no need to ask any questions yet because you were talking so much. Like you were answering all the questions, asking all the questions.
That doesn't normally stop you, though.
Well, do you feel you want me to ask more questions?
No, I'm fine.
Are you
with the
sure? Because
situation.
I could ask more
I
questions.
was just concerned for your personal well-being. That's it.
Okay. Ask more questions later then. The dinner table. Just for you.
You haven't even asked what's for dinner. I mean, who are you? No, forget I said anything.
Well, if it is a surprise that you're interested in, says Pern, it seems our misfortune could well turn to be your gain. We originally came here to Chult with over 300 strong, and now just barely over 50, and a lot of those are sick, remain here. So we do have some surplus supplies of some things. Perhaps there are things that we can trade.
So, as my friend here has asked, I have to ask you a few questions. So, where do you think you went wrong that you lost so many people?
This place is cursed and is proving more of a challenge than our good commander perhaps anticipated. However, we will persevere. We have the gods are on our side. These things are sent to try us. It is but a test.
Is that why you have such poor hygiene as well? This camp doesn't seem to be very well planned out.
She sighs and says, Niles is a good man. He is doing what he can here. But we are besieged, attacked most daily. She lets people in a lot easier than she lets people out. I fear you may struggle leaving here.
Well, she invites us to dinner and she won't let us out again?
Ah, no, not within the camp. I talk of the undead menace.
You call it she. Is there a feminine power behind this?
Well, we have heard tale. Some of the tribal ones among us have called her Nyala. She is
Called her who?
Nyala. I'll spell it one second.
GM size because we asked him to spell.
Asked me to type. God damn it. Most of the undead are reasonably mindless and do not gather together tactically. They roam in wild bands. However, she seems to be gathering them in more of an organised opposition. Yet still, they do not attack in force. They mount small raids here. We will be fare better if they would assault us outright.
So let me guess, you would perhaps like someone to deal with that.
Nyala, you think you are strong enough?
I don't know.
It depends. Is she responsible for the entire undead infestation? I had heard it was the individual called Razni who had taken it upon himself to clear my people from this region.
Ah, yes,
My cousin.
Razni, yes. It is likely he is the origin of the curse. However, Nyala is a spawn of his, and a dangerous one at that.
You say origin of the curse. You speak of the undead curse, not the undying plague.
Yes. Well, I have heard of a undying plague, but people being unable to be resurrected.
Yes, that
sounds
one.
terrible. Sadly, we have lost anybody who is capable of such feats here, so it has not really affected us. We have not had much word from the outside. I'm sure Commander Breakbone will be most interested to hear about this curse over dinner.
Nod, as just like politely as she's talking.
I don't understand what she said. Did she say this guy was in charge, this girl was in charge of the undead curse, or the curse of
The undead curse. Apparently this Nyala is a minion or a spawn of Razni.
Does this mean she's the one? She'll know what this thing is we're looking for then?
Unless the undead and the death curse are related, I don't think so. But they might be.
Well, I thought that's what you said they were related. I'm confused. Too many words with dead in it.
I sense a good job opportunity.
I see a
Certainly
bad
an opportunity to go good.
I don't think undead go around making traps. What am I going to be useful for?
Eventually,
Well, let's get settled in and see if there's anything else we can do to help.
Actually,
Where can we find the other then?
this is a good question. I think she must be close because she mounts raids, ambushes on our patrols, and she is in the area. She seems fascinated by us. She's been whittling down our numbers.
Have your scouts seen any clues as to what the direction she approaches from? If so, I would like to talk to them before I go out for a foray.
is she made out of bones? Is she a wizard? Is she a warrior?
She appears with necrotic flesh, her flesh withering and decaying on her bones, although it remains blue and clings to her still despite her death. We have encountered her in many directions. However, she is we've suspect that she resides to the east of here.
Oh, damn it. What's that mean, blue flesh?
And what is necrotic? Is that what she said? It hangs off her. It's a word I have not encountered in common.
It means dead, dead's flesh.
Okay, thank you.
Thought dead flesh was green.
There can be a lot of colours.
As you squish through the mud and sort of slip a little, it looks like she's kind of used to slipping around. You can see some people have put planks down and things to make it easier to maintain footing and to navigate over some of the standing water. She brings you up to a couple of tents on the top. These are unoccupied. I believe there's still some bedding in there, and she'll point and there's some fresh water in this bucket here if you wish to wash, and by all means take embers from the fire if you need them.
Okay, where am I going to put? Okay. Why do I do the embers of fire? Put it in the water? Makes it make the water better.
No, you would take the embers from the fire to light your own fire.
Oh, okay. She mentioned water and fire. Yeah.
So I'll let you take a moment to relax. You must have had an exhausting journey. We will be serving dinner in the main tent just after sundown. If you wish to
How
join,
long?
you should be most
How long
welcome.
away is this?
I can't
On
remember,
Sunday.
says the GM.
It's karaoke because
Yeah, sorry, I crashed.
Okay. I thought I would ask the question when he was working out time.
14:07. We've got a few hours to go before sunset then.
What time's sunset?
A few hours.
Um,
About 8.
we mentioned some supplies and goods. Where would we find your quartermaster?
The quartermaster on the end tent, and she points to the south, just next to the fire there, where the washing's hanging.
So can I ask the question? You want us all to share this one tent?
Oh no, there's 2.
2 tents.
And of course, if you have your own, you're welcome to pitch them.
Do we have our own tents?
Depends. Do you have a tent on your character sheet? No. Then
We
no.
have crocodile, don't we?
Yeah, that's one of the things I'm trying to deal with. I think that'd be a bit minging because I can't tan leather. I can skin, but I can't tan things. So you'd be sleeping under a pretty fresh giant crocodile skin.
Yeah, that's going to attract a few.
That's why I'm going to talk to the quartermaster as quickly as possible and get it dealt with.
Ah,
Let's go and see what they've got for sale. Wonder if they don't have anything. Maybe most of this. Well, we didn't see any of their stuff back at the other camp, so that's the goblins have got it all. You always go after the goblins and get it all back.
I was worried for a moment when she said that we don't easily escape or something. I thought maybe we'd had to kill our way out of this place.
I think she's talking about the area of the jungle, but I had the same confusion. Woblin, I was like, who's this she? Why are we being kept here?
Maybe the person who she's talking about lets you walk into the camp and then you can never get back out again.
I think that was her implication.
So
What she meant.
I think Warblin, walk out the front gate and see how far you get before you get attacked.
I just
No,
need
no, back.
AFK at one moment.
Okay.
Continue to entertain yourselves. We'll be back in a second.
Yeah, but I think I'll do that. Yeah, why not? Can't be that hard.
Well, you may as well wait. We'll be heading out to the boats to get the crocodile skin soon enough anyway.
Yeah.
And the crocodile meat.
Well, we've got a few hours, and you have to bring them in to let the guy see them first, don't you?
Yes, but I don't think it would be a good idea. We talk to him or her about them first, and then go and get them. I don't think like turning up at his doorstep, dumping 60 pounds of crocodile skin and going, hey, what would you give us for this? If he says nothing, we're going to hump it all the way back again.
That sounds like too much, talking.
Could we maybe like sew it together and inflate it and have our own like floating crocodile thing?
I don't know
scare away the critters.
how do you?
I don't know how that sorcery would work.
Yeah. Are you a sorcerer? Will you do this? Make it blow up?
I don't know how
It
to
sounds
make
like
kind of
magic to
sauce.
me. I have no idea what Woblin is suggesting. I think there's too many holes in it.
Yeah.
Needed more holes in it.
Oh, so what armor are you looking for, Woblin? Just so we know what.
Well, it's a suit of half plate, if they have it, but if they do, it will be quite expensive, I reckon.
Why half plate? Why do you not want the
whole plate in this environment?
It's very heavy as well.
It'd boil alive.
Yeah.
There's always a disadvantage.
Yes, and death by dehydration is a pretty serious disadvantage, Bolin. Well, for Woblin it is. A disadvantage for Woblin.
Sure, if we got a dwarf out here wearing full plate, everything, he'd be going, "Yay, this is fun." I tell you, there'd be none of this moaning.
As moist as it is in these pounds, it'd probably rust quite quickly.
That's why you bring oil. Bet you've brought a whetstone for your blade. I bet you.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you bring oil for your armor?
Is that a rhetorical question?
I don't know. What's that mean?
That means you don't actually want me to answer it.
You can answer if you want. I always ask questions. I sometimes expect answers, other times.
Strange dwarf.
Yeah, Santa gets annoyed if you don't ask questions, it seems.
No, I was concerned.
I know what
you
you said.
usually ask a lot of questions. Since the encounter with the crocodile, you haven't barely asked one. I was worried that you might have been, I don't know, injured in the throat, psychologically traumatized. I don't know.
Maybe you like had a bag of questions and then the crocodile snatched it.
Is that it? Are you not creative enough to ask questions on your own? Do you have to read? Do you need a new bag with new questions?
I'll give you a new bag of questions. I don't know why you're all picking on me for.
I was genuinely concerned for you, Balin. We have traveled together this last week or so, probably longer, since our friend's funeral back at where it was Baldur's Gate. I forgot the name. Baldur's Gate.
When's the last time you fed your little pet?
20 minutes ago.
Well,
But I was, and you, in all that time, you have been a very inquisitive individual. But since the encounter with the crocodile, it's as if you had clammed up. I was concerned.
Didn't feel that long ago.
What, the encounter with the crocodile? It was only yesterday.
Yes, I know. See.
As you are discussing this, a blonde-haired woman in her about mid-20s, she's pretty short, probably just about 5 foot tall. She's wearing a long robe, which is muddied, the white robe muddied around the feet. She steps forward and says, I'm sorry, I did not mean to eavesdrop, but you said you are concerned about your friends. I am Sister Seas, and I am one of the acolytes here. I can help in the healing arts if it is required.
You're human or dwarf or gnome?
She's human, she's just small.
Okay.
Had this image you're about to have a go at for culturally misappropriating height. No. Balin is normally quite talkative. We had an encounter with a large crocodile yesterday, and it was not up until recently that it seemed he got his talkative nature back, questioning, inquisitive nature.
Yeah, but I'm willing to take any healing potions you're going to give to me just in case I need them in the future. You know.
I am afraid she sighs heavily. We are weary from our task here. Daily I cast spells to heal the man of their diseases, but yet it seems every day more full victim to mad monkey fever or the throat leeches, and it's a struggle to keep up. I do not have any spare healing potions, I'm afraid. But I will,
I've got two questions. One is, what is a mad monkey? And two, what is a throat leech?
throat leeches are terrible. They come from infected water usually. They are worm-like creatures which bore into the throat. Leeches. They can make people lose their voice and eventually cause nausea, vomiting, quite unpleasant. Mad monkey fever, we're not sure exactly how this has spread, however it affects the mind of those afflicted by it, and paranoia, madness, confusion, those sort of symptoms can arise from being affected by it.
Okay, we're going to burn all our food and boil all our water. That's it.
Well, your water has been clean
I
all the
don't
way
care.
along,
Make it cleaner.
Balin. If you need to, it can be boiled. Glimmet, the mist we encountered on the river night before last. You mentioned something about madness with that.
Yes. I believe that they're talking about something quite different there. Some
Okay.
sort of fever.
But I thought you said that did. I'm sure you said mad monkey at that point.
Did I? Oh, did I? Is it mad monkey mist?
Yeah, it did.
Oh, maybe. Yes. Perhaps they're
Could be
related.
coincidence, though.
Perhaps that is the problem here. If this mist has been creeping into the camp at night.
Could be.
Well, it just seems unwise to sit here in your,
Yes.
camp when so many things can assail it. You should stay on the move a bit more.
Yeah, I think whenever we brought the girl here, that was our mission, and we can now go back again.
Sister Seus nods at you, Glimmet, as you say you should perhaps move around more. And she shakes her head a little, steps closer and lowers her voice. I think you're right. We are slowly dying here. However, Commander Niles, I'm sure he is a good man, but the experience at Camp Righteous, I fear it has shattered his mind, damaged him somehow. He seems obsessed now with trying to gain revenge on the undead, and we cannot stay like this. We will all die.
So what are you saying then?
I do not know. He means well, but we cannot carry on like this. Someone needs to speak sense to him.
Something does need to be done. If anything, you need to have proper drainage in your camp at the least. But
Drainage?
yeah, the place is sodden. It rains here. You must have noticed.
Yes, I thought it was just the rain. I don't know much about building forts.
It
Yeah,
seems that lots of people here don't.
know how to build forts? Sana?
No, I know how to choose a campsite that would not get flooded regularly, though. Sorry, I forgot her name. Was it Cece or something like that?
CS, Sister CS.
Sister CS. We are to have dinner with your commander this evening, but beforehand, the lady we spoke to previously said that could you take us to the quartermaster? We may be able to assist in different ways if we cannot convince Commander Breakbone of the folly of this situation.
Yeah, we've got a man over here that can make water drinkable.
Of course, Brandon, I'm sure he'll help you. If follow me, I need to head down that way to check on some patients. She heads southwards, down this way, if you wish to follow her.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, Glimmit's got portent dice, that sounds scary.
Portent dice, what are they?
It's not fun though.
Yeah. I get to use them during the day instead of rolling.
Oh right, so they could be naff if they're like both fumbles, do you like, not bother?
Well, no, it's well,
Do they give us?
I can use them on other people as well.
Ooh.
Oh, so you can make people fumble if you roll it. Oh, that's cool. I like that.
Was that, did you go divination or something, or is that a different one?
Yeah.
Heading down to the quartermaster then, you come to a fairly elderly man, must be in his 50s, which is old for be out here. He has one arm, his sleeve is tucked into his shirt. He smiles at you, a rather toothless grin. Afternoon, Sister Sears, and these are the new folk that people have been talking about. Good to meet you, he says, and holds out a muddy hand towards you.
If no one else shakes it, I will.
It's the kind of place you'd lose your arm over.
Well, I lost this some time ago, however, yes, it is not the best situation. Still, we have to make the most of it. These things are here to try us.
Yes, everyone seems to say that.
You are the quartermaster?
I am, how can I help you?
Well, I have need to purchase from you some ammunition, some arrows suitable for a longbow. I would like to see what you have in stock. My companion here, Woblin, is in the market to negotiate for some armor, and we may have some goods that we have gathered on our way here, which may help the camp. Possibly 2 dozen pounds of treated crocodile meat, and a significantly large skin, which could be used for leather making, or even tanned for the size of the beast, a tent.
Splendid. Let's see what we have. You are looking for armour, sir, he says towards Warpling. The arrows are no problem.
Well, what kind of armor have you got? And
I'll check the quality of the arrows while he's doing that.
what do I have to do to make you part with it?
Okay, firstly, the arrows are good, solid quality. They're nothing outstanding, but they are solid and will do the job. A proper sort of military issue, fletched by someone who does know what they're doing.
I will purchase 40 of them if I can then.
That's fine, yes. He said, do you have anything to trade?
Yes, but I can pay for the arrows, but I believe the trades are going to go towards Warblin's requirement.
What type of armour would you be looking for, sir?
Well, the suit of half plate.
A suit of half plate?
Yep. Full plate is not good in this environment.
If you ask me, a half plate's not a good idea either. But Warblin, you know what you're doing.
Yes, half plate can be. You need a strong constitution to keep half plate, and you certainly won't want to drop in the river with it. However, we do have half plate available. It has only been used once.
Sana sort of smiles to herself when she considers the implications of one careful owner of a used suit of armor.
Yeah.
Yeah, does it have a very large hole in it?
Well, I'd say it doesn't. It doesn't have a large hole in it. It's been kept in good condition. It's got some dents in it. It's not been repaired. You can see it's got sort of nicks and the like in there. It's not new. However, there's no like holes in it, and it's perfectly functioning armour. We could perhaps come to an arrangement, say 500 gold pieces for this suit of half plate. That's an excellent offer.
500. I haven't got. Wait, how much do we have?
I
don't
can
have that kind of
contribute if you need to, but trade goods wise, we would also be willing to offset some of the price of the armor for the skin I mentioned, and at least 25 pounds of crocodile meat.
I see.
some pearls, some nice shiny pearls, but they're probably no use to you.
Pearls. Well, they are easier to transport than gold. They're lighter.
I didn't think we had pearls anymore. I thought Glimmet had them all.
No, Gilmet only needed one.
Oh.
Wolverine appears to have 2 pearls.
Yep.
I think I found 4 in total.
Did
And we
I-
got the other one.
Did I give said pearls a value? I can't remember now. Were they 50 gold, actually?
Well, the best quality one was what Glimmet needed, which is a pearl of 100 gold piece value. But that's the only one that has a set value. It's up to you on the others.
Okay, perhaps an arrangement can be made. The 2 pearls, the crocodile meat and the crocodile. We'll call
The
it
skin, yes.
350. That's an excellent bargain for a set of half plate. And would you, in fact, be wanting to continue wearing that that splint mail you're wearing? Perhaps you'd want to.
Oh, we could trade that in. Yeah. It's a bit too heavy to wear, so I'll happily give you that. How much? What do they cost?
A new suit of splint mail. Is it scowl mail? You've got a splint mail.
It's second hand split meal.
So 100. So half
Yeah.
that's 100. So he'll
Knock that off, so it's down to 250. Sort of conspiratorially decide to Wobbling. How much do you have?
Just let me count every single coin.
I can help you with that.
No thanks, you're terrible at maths. 208.
And you said you would give Woblin 100 for the splint mail, yes?
yes, I would.
So the balance would be 250?
I believe so. Yes, he says with a smile. That sounds like an excellent bargain for.
How about
fine
if we
suit.
call it 200 and I will commit to gathering herbs in the jungle this evening that will assist your healers in helping making the camp well?
Never mind.
Collecting herbs alone?
I'm an accomplished woods woman. I am familiar with the jungle. And I would not be alone, and I'll reach down and scratch Jade's chin.
Is Glimmet whispering that to Sanya?
I'm
No,
sure,
that's our character, that was. It's green.
I'm sure the herbs would be of great value, but perhaps more to Sister Sears than myself.
But You're not all in this together?
Huh?
Also, Lionel can assist, our friend. He's around here somewhere. I believe he is an advocate of either your deity or another very similar one. And I understand that he is able to just suck the disease right out of people.
You look around and you don't know where he's gone, Lionel. Not sure.
He's a very trustworthy individual. He's a paladin.
Oh, I'm sure, and so it's just to see us as likewise blessed with such arch. Very well. If you can acquire some herbs, then I will offer a further discount. But you may not return, so I couldn't do so after you returned with the herbs. You understand?
Okay, so we'll call it an additional 50 gold deposit to be returned with the herbs.
Make me a persuade roll.
Do I need to persuade? I'm saying we'll pay up front with the extra, and he just gives it back if I get back with the herbs.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay. I understand. Very well, he says. We could use all the heavily armoured types we can get. He looks up at Warblin. Says, you look like you can handle yourself. We could use your sort around here.
Sana counts out an additional 50, gives that to Warblin. That's only to make up the difference until I get back with the herbs, okay?
Very gracious of you. Right, so I part with my splint and pearls and all the money.
You only need to get rid of 200, so you've got some change left.
Okay.
So what else do you sell in this little shop of yours?
This is a cave of many treasures, he says, sweeping his hand off the over the mouldy tent. What would you be interested in? He's got lots of boxes and crates sort of piled up, sacks and the like.
I would like to look through everything and see what there is.
He casts you a suspicious look. Make me a persuade roll to allay his fears.
Yep, I'm going to relay his fears. Fears. We see. Yep, I told you.
If you just let me know what you are after, I can happily get it. It's very crowded, and you might knock something off and break it, or something might fall on you. I wouldn't want you to get hurt.
What we need is a tent that's light, holds a lot of people, doesn't let insects in, doesn't let funny water come in, doesn't let fruit leeches crawl in the water and get into my fruit. Something like that.
I see. A good solid tent. Well, I have a tent. Only one previous owner.
What happened to the owner? Because if it's anything to do with madness or fruit leeches, I don't want.
Balin, there are 300-man strong force down to 50 men because they were decimated by the undead. I think we know what happened to our previous owner.
Yeah, but he could have died in there with fruit leeches and madness. It could be in the tent waiting for me.
How large a tent would you want? I have a tent for 2 humans, which probably would be the equivalent of a huge tent for yourself. You'd probably stand up in that.
Do any of you guys want a tent?
I'm fine.
2 gold pieces would be the price for the tent.
I thought you said you had loads of them, and so if they're so common, would it not be cheaper? You want to get rid of them, don't you?
He doesn't really like you, but that's quite a good quite a good argument. Okay, a gold piece is yours.
Okay, I will take it. Wait, where's my gold piece? There we go.
Cool. And you can drag it out of the equipment if you like, and you have your own tent.
Where is it? In the inventory equipment?
Yeah, it should be. It's a standard 2 gold piece, 20 pounds weight.
Just go to items and type in tent. You'll be able to find it.
I've removed the
Oh,
meat
right.
and the crocodile skin from my inventory, so
Ah, yes, cool.
Just gonna find the weight of it. £20! It's £20!
it's a tent.
Shh! I said
It's not something you get from Maplins or wherever. It's a medieval tent. It's made of significant canvas.
Hey, Warbling, do you like a tent to carry for me?
Well, you don't really need to carry it around, do you?
No,
But
you,
put it-
you drop it.
I have to carry it right
Go.
now, but once
Go
we
and
get
leave it in the boat.
Well, help me drag it to the boat.
Well, Santa's going back to the boat to go and get the crocodile stuff, so we might as well say that we drag your tent back to the boat at the same time.
I'm currently so overweight that I'm heavy now.
Okay, with Barlin grumbling a little, Brandon, the quartermaster, just looks at Glimmet. Are you there, by the way, Glimmet? Oh yes, yeah, I think he was. He commented.
I think he was ritualizing while we were arguing.
I was casting Unseen Servant.
Okay, but are you down near the quartermaster, or are you back with your tent?
Oh no, I'm just sitting outside in the mud with a few candles and arcane equipment around me, sort of mumbling.
Okay, fine. At this point, then, just with you trying to drag your tent back, you hear a commotion. There's a lot of sort of male voices start shouting, all shouting together. It's difficult to tell what they're saying because everyone appears to be screaming at each other. It's coming from the northeast area, kind of up here. You'll hear someone say, "You'll pay, you'll never get away with this," and then there's just lots of other screams going on. Barlin, you store your tent in the tent.
Yep, because
Very meta.
we haven't gone to the canoe yet, so may as well. I don't want to carry it around.
It's like the Russian doll of tents. You could have tents and tents. Anyway.
Put many of them in the big command tent.
Well, it's very intense at the minute.
Is anyone else investigating or intrigued by the noise? Or
I'm always intrigued by loud noises.
I'll send up the owl, see what you can see.
Okay.
Move towards it.
Where was the noise from? Southeast,
Northeast.
east, west, northeast. Okay, it's towards
Lionel Dawn.
As you start making your way there, Sister Seus will look shocked, turn and start making your way in the direction. Brandon just sort of shrugs and sits down as if he's seen many a brawl in his time and wants to stay here and guard his wares. And the rest of you make your way. And you get to about where Warbling is here. You see a congregation of people just up by this watchtower, and around you see a figure kneeling in the mud on the ground. He has been disarmed and has a long sword pointed at his throat. You notice to your horror that this is Lionel. Around him there is a group of men looking angry, including the Commander Niles. I'll just put these on the map one moment.
Okay. See, this is what happens when you leave Gaz alone for a couple of minutes. He just goes crazy. I meant Lionel. So how long does your unseen servant, when you do it as a ritual, last longer than normal? Then?
No, it just means I don't have to prepare it.
Oh, okay. I don't know what that means, but I'll just go okay.
I mean, I can just read it out straight out of my spell book without having to use up a slot.
Oh, okay. Well, that's great.
It's the a wizard feature. It's the only thing it's unique to wizard.
No.
Why is the sister hit me so much? What did I do to her? What did I do to you, Mrs.?
Why? What's she upset with you about?
She's red.
Oh.
Looks at you angrily.
Happy? They're all orange. Hello.
I'm always happy.
Okay, you can see that up ahead Niles is standing upon a barrel. And poor Lionel is just in the process of having his hands tied behind his back. One of the guards is pointing a longsword towards his throat. A dwarf stands by the side of him, and Pern is standing in front of him. On the barrel, Niles says, "And for the crime of rebellion, inciting rebellion in the camp, you will be taken prisoner, held in the tower until I can decide a fitting punishment for you." And then Lionel says, you hear him go, "But I'm innocent, I did nothing, I was just trying to rally them and increase their spirits. They didn't look, they looked down." And you can get closer at this point.
The tent is like, hey, take it easy now. What the crap's going on here?
He probably did something bad. Let's let him go to prison and then we can sort it out later. Because I want to get my dinner first.
Yeah, well, just want to make sure he doesn't die or anything, because he's not very useful then.
Did I just jump all the way over there? Well, I don't remember doing that.
"What's going on?" he says. Niles. He turns round and points accusingly towards Lionel, who's on his knees in the mud. This man here was inciting doubt and rebellion, doubt in my authority here. He was obstructing the full course of law. Chain of command. This is an emergency military situation, and he was trying to destabilise the whole camp.
I am sure that he only had your best interests at heart when he said you weren't good at your job. We've only met you, and I think you're doing a fine job. You're offering us a lovely meal. Let's just go back and have our little meal, and we can sort this out. Just put him in the prison, and we'll sort this out tomorrow. Sure, he'll be nice tomorrow. Maybe he just drank too much of the water. Likes to drink, you know.
Pern will step forward, and she says that yes, we should be calm in this matter. Perhaps if we just move him to the cell for the moment and think about what to do with him when calmer heads prevail. Sister Seus moves up as well, and she echoes Pern's view on this. Do not hurt him. He has done us a good service here, bringing the missives. Perhaps just we should let him go. I'm sure he has done nothing wrong.
It certainly does not sound like Lionel.
He was caught red-handed, and I saw him, heard him with my own ears, talking to the man.
He does that, but his intentions are good. He inspires people.
I direct a stern glare at the commander, and they'll say, "Listen, this is not the kind of situation where you want to make enemies." And I actually did a good roll.
You intimidating.
Yeah.
Oh, who?
The commander guy.
Oh, okay.
Niles, okay, you go for the intimidation on him. He looks at you and catches your eye, and he tries to hold your gaze for a bit, but he breaks your gaze and looks down. You see a muscle in his cheek sort of twitch, and he'll mumble something, and then he says, "There are enemies abound, danger everywhere in this jungle. You cannot trust anybody. We have lost so many. We cannot afford the risk of having one such as him running around free."
What did he even say?
He was saying, he was giving advice to them, saying that we should, to shore up the defences, get rid of the spikes, he was saying. Ridiculous.
That does sound silly.
He was taking charge of the man, adopting my role. This is not to be tolerated.
Yeah, he always does that. I advise you put him in the cell.
Good.
Balin?
Then we shall...
And then we can go for a meal.
You are asking Lionel to be imprisoned just so you can fill your stomach.
No, I'm saying Lionel's done something bad and he should go to the prison, and then we sort it out in the morning. Because, it's very late at night and I'm hungry.
It's barely late afternoon, and he has only done for these people what he has done for us every morning this past week.
Are you disobeying the rules of this man that puts people in prison for disobeying his commands?
Well, I'm not under his command.
Yes, but he just said something. Just go along with it. We'll sort it out tomorrow. Hint, hint, wink, wink.
Take him away, I have no time for this. And the guards begin to sort of drag him on his back unceremoniously through the mud towards the base of the tower in the northeast, which serves as a impromptu jail. You'll make me a insight roll, please, those of you that are there, and I don't know whether you can do an insight roll by proxy through the owl or not limit, but
I can see through its eyes, yeah.
Why? Why is it so high? Was I puzzled by that?
Would anything to do with jungles help?
Jungles?
no,
For insight?
sorry.
Cool. Just determines which one I roll. Oh, look at that. I'm the only one with a bloody bonus on the skill, and I rolled appallingly.
I seem to know the minds of a crazy person. I don't know how. It could be just generic.
Santa doesn't know people that well anyway. Not military people.
Although I do tend to give more weight to people who've got the proficiency and the skills, because that's sort of learnt, whereas if you've not got the proficiency, it's more stuff you pick up on bars and stuff or whatever. However, Warbling and Barlin, of all people, in Glimmet to an extent. Okay, well, Niles, you think is well, obviously maybe perhaps didn't even need the insight roll for this. He looks like a man who's under pressure. He's lost one camp. This one is deteriorating. He's under siege. He's losing men left, right, and centre, and he is suffering from trauma as a result of that, which is meaning he's not behaving entirely as himself, and has been rather draconian in his measures here. You also notice with this that I think probably just Warbling and Barlin will notice this because it's far less obvious that Pern, she has a look of sort of disgust towards the commander. As he's doing this, she sort of like, looks away and shakes her head slightly. Also, there is a dwarf, a stout-looking dwarf with red hair called Ord Firebeard. He is looking rather enthusiastic. He looks like he quite enjoys taking poor Lionel into the prison, and perhaps looks stalwart behind Niles. So what do you do?
Well,
Well,
I don't
I
know.
say, we should congratulate the commander on his wise decision, and then say, "Are we still on for the dinner?"
I don't know. Do we have
Look.
a time for a mutiny before that?
I want dinner. It's probably got
Is-
fantastic cooks.
And as for the rest of you, he says, you will be subordinated into my command here. This is a military emergency, you understand. You are to conduct a patrol for me, and you will go out and attempt to capture or slay the undead one we call Niala.
After dinner?
We cannot afford the supplies for unknowns such as yourselves.
You just said you were going to give us dinner.
That was before this, he says, pointing a thumb towards where poor Lionel is.
Oh, it's a different kettle of fish. You're not giving me dinner.
That's got nothing to do with us.
We'll sort this out. Will you see?
You may take... Sorry, go
Sure.
ahead.
No, I wasn't saying.
You may take your time to supply yourselves and take the rest you need, and then I expect you to venture out into the jungle and conduct this patrol for us.
There is no need to punish them for anything else. I can do your patrol without any risk to my companions.
This is a command from your commanding officer. You will obey, and all of you will go out on patrol.
I will do it. I will do it because I wish to do it, sir. You are not my commanding officer. I am not in your military. I am a guest in your camp because I did you a service. And I will continue to do you a service while it suits my desires. And I have as much desire as you to see this undead scourge taken from this land.
You are on military soil, you are on my soil, and you come under my command.
Currently,
here.
and I will walk out of this gate in 2 minutes and give you no support if you do not treat your guests with civility. I am willing to assist you, sir. You are not ordering me to do so. And I am not staying in your camp this evening.
Sister CS steps forward and says, Commander, please, these people have done a service to us, and as they said, they would go out on the patrol anyway, so there is no cause for anger here. Niles shoots you an icy stare, Sani, as if you're
Try and hold
a
his
traitor.
gaze.
Okay, let's go for intimidation.
I'm going to try to sneakily look at.
I'm going to try to get inspiration before that point by saying that was my family, clan, or tribe is the most important thing in my life. So I was defending the other guys, basically.
Cool.
Yeah, I think I could do this. Well, I don't know if I could do this.
So if I get inspiration for that, I'll use that in my defense if need be.
There you go, sir.
I don't know. Do these people count as someone I've served with? Maybe we haven't been adventuring long enough.
Oh no. Oh, sorry. The rest of the people in the group. Yeah, absolutely. I'll say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Also, I really hate this guy, and my hatred, the hatred of my enemies is supposed to be blinded on reasoning. So I'll look at the others and try to make the sort of gesture where you drag your finger across your throat and sort of nudge in Nalsa's direction.
So, Bartle and Glimmet are going on a patrol by themselves, it seems, and everyone else is in prison.
Okay. Just to, if you're looking at escalating this at this point, there are more people on the map than I've boxed. I didn't want to put all the whole camp on. You reckon, because Warbling, you're particularly good with the military things. Let me just have a look at the full camp. There's about 50 people here, but quite a lot of them are sick and injured. So you reckon you're probably looking at like 20 or 30 active people.
Ooh. I'm not sure if that's a good idea to take him head on.
Do you even picture armor on?
Yeah, I've done that. I'll do that quickly. Maybe we should wait for a better occasion. I don't say that, obviously.
I mean, if Sana spots the surreptitious thing to his neck, she just shakes her head slightly. She doesn't think it's a good idea. He was trying to intimidate me, wasn't he?
Yeah, he rolled a 14.
What do I resist intimidation with?
I bet it's wisdom. I'm guessing.
Wisdom saving throw, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, I will use my advantage because that's what I got it for. And it's a personality trait. I'm trying to stand up to the bully.
Yeah.
Nope.
No.
You sort of struggle to maintain his gaze, really. I mean, I was doing this more from a roleplay perspective than
Yeah, no
anything.
worries.
But he is quite a scary guy with, you can see his eyes look wild and there's a coldness, distance to them, 1,000-mile stare he's got.
I will not stay where I am obviously not welcome. And I'll walk out of the camp towards the boat. And as I'm walking away, she'll say something along the lines of, and anything I do this evening in the jungle is for my own benefit, not for yours, sir.
Are the gates open?
Jade skips after you. The gates actually weren't open. As you stop moving there, Pern will step out, not in front of you, sort of towards the side of you, and reach, put a hand on your shoulder. Please, she said, please, Sana, please, I think we will need you. Please stay.
I will
just
be
this one
more than
night.
happy to assist. I was not expecting to stay within your fort this evening anyway. I was going to stay nearby. I still intend to stay nearby, but I do not find sleeping under canvas, let alone within a barricade, comfortable.
She nods. Very well.
Can I ask her, were the commander to decide to pack up and leave, how long would it take if he was in a hurry?
Oh, how long would it take to sort of up the camp and leave?
Yes.
For the whole camp? Oh, they could certainly do it in a day. They could do it in the morning or something. Well, it depends really how efficiently they want to do it. They could do it in a hurry, but they'd be leaving, sort of some things behind. But.
And do you believe this to be a thing to be desired?
Sorry, who are you talking to? I'm not.
Pern.
What's Per?
Oh, you're talking
Pern.
to Pern. Pern's.
Is it Pern?
Yeah, it says Pern. She'll say
Also-
it is difficult to talk now. Perhaps later I shall come to your tent.
Do that.
Limit got a die.
See? 5 charisma. It's not always...
She's
Gonna be a
obviously-
cro-
She's been in the
gonna be a
jungle for a
crowded
while.
tent.
She's looking for a bit of rough. That's what it is.
Hmm.
The brain is the sexiest organ. Right. What
It's
are we
the biggest
doing?
muscle.
What's the plan, Sana?
I'm going to sleep in the boat this evening, but I'm also going to scout a bit in the jungle to gather some herbs for the quartermaster who I promised them to, and also to see if I can find any tracks.
Well, the question is if, are we going on this patrol that he says? Are we going to let him force us to do that? Are we going to,
Well, I have
Go
a
along with
vested
it?
interest in clearing this jungle anyway. It's up to you if you wish to assist, but the scouting I will be best off doing alone initially. I can move faster and quieter.
Are we doing this tomorrow? Are we? Is this tomorrow he's saying to do this, or is he saying to do it tonight?
Well, I'm going out
We-
tonight.
I'm asking him.
I can tell the commander to leave, and he will.
Oh,
But he'll only be convinced of this for about 8 hours.
Isn't a side effect of that his minions decide to kill him?
That was a one-off.
Oh, that was not your spell, that was goblins. Okay.
But if, as you say, we intend to do what he asks anyway, then we have nothing to lose by using more mundane means.
Perhaps. I mean, you should all enjoy a meal. I would not enjoy his food anyway.
he says you're not giving us a meal now.
Is he not?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah,
Um,
it's all your fault.
It's Gaz's fault, actually. Lionel's fault.
No, we were getting the meal until Santa started shouting at him.
I think he mentioned the meal before that, but it's not a
Yeah.
problem.
don't
Um,
blame it on her.
I can move, honestly, I can move quieter and faster this evening.
Can you cook a good meal before you leave?
And then we could go on you could go on the patrol in the morning when you are fresh.
Don't forget that. I've tasted your meals. They're not nice.
Yes, but they don't kill you. That's the important thing.
Yeah, they feel like they're killing me. Bugs and weird eyes and stuff like that.
Wriggling as they go down your throat.
Yes, perfectly good food.
For an animal.
And Sana will head towards the boat to sort out, because obviously somebody still needs to bring the crocodile skin and the meat back in. So
Is she strong enough to drag that, like, by herself?
Oh, Sana, before you leave,
probably
you
barely.
could you grab that tent and bring it over to the boat? That'd be nice. Thank you.
The tent's on the other side of the camp, and the boat will be here all night.
You said you were going to do it. I was saying thanks.
Yes, but then you went and put it in the tent.
It's always difficult. You're always difficult. It's okay.
I'm not going to set foot in the camp again until that man moderates his attitude.
If you're talking to me, I'm in the camp.
Well, that's from the gate.
Alright, so what are your plans for this evening, people?
I fancy going around and looking for what the food was that I was going to get that I'm no longer going to get, so I can see if I can get it.
Oh, there's some delicious smells coming from that command tent. Smells like roast beef.
Ooh, I bet mayonnaise would go well with that.
You didn't use it for beer yet today, did you?
I don't think I used it today.
I know
Did
we've had beer out of it, but that might have been yesterday, not today.
No, we had honey. Oh yeah, that was right. I did honey, then I did beer. So it is beer today. It'll be something else tomorrow.
Well, we're not giving any of that away.
Kerry just disconnected, by the way.
Oh,
He'll be back.
Everyone has inspiration, it seems, except Kerry. Kerry's here. I see him in the.
How'd you know that?
It says on the chat, everyone has inspiration.
Oh, right. I thought you were seeing something weird.
Hmm.
Yeah, so Scallon, if I'm on my own, I can move at full speed while stealth,
awesome.
and that includes with Jade. So myself and Jade the idea is before it gets dark, I'll do a quick scout around, probably significantly within the tree line in the jungle, trying to find tracks and the like, but also I can do the foraging at the same time, remaining alert to danger. So I'll be doing essentially herbalism to gather medicinal nonsense as per promise.
Tonight, I will be trying to get some food, and also I will go over to the prison's tower, and I will attempt to chat to Lionel inside and go, so what's it like being a prisoner? You know.
Right, you're going to go and torment Lionel. Sanna's going to do some scouty things. And what about Warblin and Glimmet? What do you want to do while these are doing this?
I wish to meet with Pern.
Yeah, I'll probably want to do that as well. I already feel like I want to foment rebellion. This guy clearly isn't
A full set.
Yeah, he doesn't try to tell me what to do without paying me.
Yeah, that's an insult, isn't it?
Yeah, really doesn't understand how mercenaries work, does he?
No. Yeah, fundamentally flawed. Yeah, concept of mercenaries.
I'll go grab a drink of water while they're having their little in the tent episode. So I'll be back shortly.
Okay. Okay, so I'll do the tent and then I'll move on to Sanna if you like. So you can get a drink if you need to, John.
No worries.
Whatever. Okay, so Pern and also Sister Seus will probably another hour or so will go by. Just put that on the calendar. So it's about 6 o'clock when Pern and Sister Seus will make their way up to your small camp area. Sister Seus will smile at you and say, make it look as if I've come to check on your health. And she will begin to sort of examine both of you. Say ah.
Oh.
Okay, and she'll, sort of be checking you over, and Pern will say, this is quite dangerous what I am approaching you with. I hope I can trust you, and my instinct is right about you.
Oh yes, I want to be out of this camp as much as you do. It's full of insects and horrible fevers, and it's really horrible here, to be honest. All I need is to talk with your commander. And also, I was curious, does he have the power to relinquish command to you?
He does, and this is what I wish to speak with you about. Niles, you understand, he is my friend. I'm sure you see him as a tyrant as he is now. However, I fear for his mind at the moment. He has lost much, and it has been such a hard time here, and the burden of command, I fear, has broken him, and it is putting us all in severe jeopardy. I do not wish any harm to befall him, but...
Oh, no, don't worry about that. I have his best interests at heart. You see, if he were to relinquish the command to you and he were to return to port in Zaru, he could find the help he needs and recover, and, well, then you could hand him back his command for all I know. I just need to talk to him, really, and if you could arrange an introduction on his own, just the three of us.
That could be possible if you think you will not persuade him. And also,
I will persuade.
You will?
He's a wizard, you know. He can do his magic.
I see. You are confident you are able to do this?
Let's say I have foreseen it.
She
I love it when in-character stuff is predicated by out-of-character knowledge. It's wonderful.
yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah. Well, I mean, he has seen it, I think. So she nods and does seem to believe you. Says there is perhaps one other issue we may have. Some of his guard, particularly the guard under Old Firebeard, they go back a long way, him and Niles, and he has been adamant that he wishes for Niles to remain in command here. I fear we may have trouble with Ord and his veteran guards.
Yeah, about that, we should perhaps also have a plan B. But do you think there's a peaceful solution to that problem?
It may be that when your commander announces his resignation, these guards will dig their heels in, and we have to deal with them.
Yeah, but if that fails, we need to know. If that fails, he's probably going to go after you.
It won't fail.
You have foreseen it.
But I understand your reservations about the consequences. If most of the camp are happy to have you as a commander, then it will simply be his cohorts who we have to deal with.
How many of them do you reckon are against him? How many do you think he could rally if things were to go south?
Ord has 8 under his command who I know are fiercely loyal to him.
But the rest?
The rest I think can be persuaded. It has been a hard tour here. Maybe some of Ord's can be swayed also. I do not know until it happens and the circumstances of it. If we could get Ord on side, we could do the whole thing peacefully.
Very well, I will need to speak to Ord, and then I will need to meditate to regain my spells.
I see. Well, Ord would be...
Oh no, I don't, because now I have slots and I don't memorize into slots, do I? So I can just cast suggestion 3 times. Yeah, I will need to meet with Ord separately, and then with the commander.
Ord can be found guarding your friend, and I am sorry about his imprisonment. I'm sure it will not last long.
Unfortunately, I have not foreseen the outcome of Ord's persuasion.
See, that's where that's really.
Will Lord be on his own at the moment?
No, he will. There will be at least one other guard there. I could, however, call one of the guards away, perhaps.
If you could do that, then I will attempt to.
It will be risky for me to try. Order's very suspicious.
I'll have you back.
Warblin, if it should go wrong, are you good at knocking men into unconsciousness?
Well, I prefer killing them, but like in game terms, does that?
It's dead easy. You basically in 5e you just say, I'm not going to kill him. I'm going to knock him unconscious with that blow instead.
Okay, yeah. Well, it it depends. You could say.
How bloodthirsty you feel at the time,
Yeah. Also dice. I'm not sure if I actually am that good.
Oh, true. Oh, and the other thing is you could instant death them as well, which would...
I don't think you can with Subdual.
Ah, okay.
Coma, but maybe not instant death.
Fair enough.
That'd be something.
So, the plan then, Glimmet. You wish me to try and call the other guards away to isolate Ord, and then you will speak to him. And a little later you wish to speak to Niles. Is this right?
The timing is really awkward.
Do you want to think on this while we do Samuel?
Yeah. Yes, I do.
Okay, so while you're you Warbling and the conspirators are talking, unless there's anything you want to add, Warbling, before I move over?
Not really. I'll probably just try to figure out where to position myself. I guess somewhere in the middle, if like by the fire in the middle. If Glimmet's going to the tower, then the what's her name will be about where she's standing now.
Pern or Sia? Sias. Pern
Pern
Salhana. That's cool.
You can.
just to sort of be ready to assist if it might be needed.
Yeah, you can move your token wherever you wish, I guess, or whatever. And so, are we going to do Barlin or Santa next? You guys can decide.
Mine's not going to take long compared to hers. Want to do
Mine might just be 3 skill rolls. You never know.
Do you want to go first then?
Yeah, you can go first.
Flies over to England, slaps John on the back of the head, and then flies back again.
It's a long way to Orpington from Faerun, so.
First thing I'm trying to do is get some food.
Smells like quite nice food coming from his barracks there.
Yeah,
Seems
where's it coming from? I'm trying to grab it on the way to the tent. Is it cooked in the tent?
It wouldn't be. No, it'll be. This is a good point. There's another fire built out here, out the front, and there's a couple of guards standing around it cooking food, and one of them appears to be Niles' personal chef. They look at you suspiciously.
I go, well, that was such a surprising turnout, wasn't it? Imagine that guy trying to go against the will of the commander. I'm shocked at that. So, what are you cooking there?
These, well, we've got some leeches and
You eat leeches.
some widgety grubs.
Eat widgets.
Sorry, I just wanted to hear the look of sound of disappointment on your face. No, he's cooking some. It looks like lamb.
But it's actually a big witchetty grub.
No,
I'm an adventurer. Get me out of here.
Is it a plate pile of them, or is it just like Is it just like a meal with just one of them and potatoes and all that stuff? Is it just like a plate of food, or is it a big pile of food?
What you've got is a fire with a spit over it with what looks like a bit of lamb. The lamb looks fairly old, like it had been sort of salted and kept for a while. It's not the best cut of anything, but it is, does look nicer than anything you've had for a while, probably. Certainly nicer than the dry rations you've been eating and the like. There are some rather mouldy looking, well, mouldy, but old looking vegetables boiling in a pan as well.
So, what would it take to get a slice of this meal then?
Oh, it's for the commander, really. This.
There's always leftovers. We know how it goes. So, what's the chances?
He looks round. Right, well, what are you offering?
Hey, Balin. Pro tip. Poison it.
Don't be silly. Let me see. Let me see what I've got. Let me see. I've got 2 gold here. 2 gold. What do you say to that?
So is this deception or persuasion that you're doing? More persuade, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, it's more persuade because I'm actually going to give them gold, but they may not have the gold after the exchange because, well, you know what happens
Back,
with.
yeah. Okay, persuade just to see whether you can get them to do it.
Okay, guess what I'm using? Inspiration.
Yeah, that's what it's
I'm
there
not that
for. So you can do stuff you couldn't
Not
normally.
good at. Oh my god. What is it with these persuasion advantages? They're so terrible. Give you 1s all the time.
Clear off. Get out of here, little one.
Wow.
Before we report you, it's you could have your hands chopped off or be flogged for stealing from the supplies.
You ain't stealing. I said I offered you 2 gold. I didn't say anything about stealing. I don't know. People just make up stories in this camp. I'm very disappointed in the both of you.
I think you're right, John. It is actually nice. I think though, Barlin, yeah, well,
He'd complain anyway.
He
He
would,
was gourmet
yeah.
prep.
that's kind of what I meant. Yeah, wouldn't be happy. Are you giving up on that one, then, Barlin?
Yep, I'm going to wander past him and, maybe see what he's got in his pockets as I go past and go head towards the prison cell. And if I feel I'm going to the prison cell anyway.
Okay, yeah, about my direct route.
You should just try to sleight of hand some meat.
Oh, I was hand the slighting him because the meat's currently in a spit, and it's not like you could pick the meat off the thing.
Well,
Depends
You
on
have
what
to
you
cut
roll.
it and stuff.
if you wait till they're serving it, they'll be putting it onto plates and things, cutting it up. You could swipe some then, maybe.
Okay, I will try that. I will try and get myself a leg of lamb.
Yeah, we won't get the
Just-
whole leg, but you'll be able to get yourself a nice, grab yourself a
Oh, I
handful
want-
of meat.
What I want enough to make Lionel jealous.
I'm sure Annie will make Lionel jealous. He's on stale bread and water at the moment. He's going to kill me when he comes back, isn't he? Never mind. Okay.
Never know, he might decide to go all the Count of Monte Cristo or something.
Ah!
Well, you did say you're going to the cells anyway.
Stop, thief! He'll, the hue and cry will go up around the camp. Get your thieving hands off it!
You got me, Governor.
Put your hands up and drop your weapon there. I'll be
What
taking you
weapon?
to the commander.
Oh wow.
Do you comply?
I can play. Sorry, just got crop on my leg. There. Yep. Oh.
and a couple more guards will kind of appear due to the commotion, and they'll say, "Take him off to a cell in there, and we'll get the commander. Someone get Ord." And they'll start to they'll get some rope and bind your hand behind your back.
There was no need to bind me. I said I was I was offered a dinner and you refused me my dinner.
And they take you to the cell over here to. They'll say,
was- Not even in the same cell as them. Oh.
No, he's put you in a different cell. Sorry.
We're gonna have to break you up then.
Because you don't even know he's been arrested.
Well, I can hear it.
Yeah,
Well, I suppose you can.
it'll be quite quiet. You will have heard the shouts. Yeah. And you'll be able to see Barley being frog marched off into the prison over here. Sorry, Barley. You did roll rather pants there.
I blame that all dice.
It's good that you got the courage of your convictions, though. Fair cop,
so,
Governor. You caught me. Put me away.
so does this mean they've got all my stuff? Does that mean they've got all my stuff, or is there stuff I could have put away?
This is sleight of hand again. Because
Is
they will search you to take your weapons off you. Certainly,
And
they'll
there's only one place you can hide a set of lockpicks.
It's the lockpicks I want to. It's the thieves' tools I want to keep
Yep.
hidden.
Okay.
Let me see.
We've all seen
Who's
Pulp
still
Fiction. It's that watch.
Oh my God, no! 3 times in a row. 3 times in a row.
If you tell me where you're hiding it, you might get advantage on this, so you could roll again.
I was basically thinking in my shoes.
Your shoes,
In
that's
your
obvious.
beard.
Hmm?
Can hide it in your beard.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
You are a dwarf.
But they would search my beard because they're all
Would they?
touchy-feely people.
They'll definitely search your boots. The boots is the first place you look, isn't it?
No, I thought the first place you look was under your arms. That's why the police. Oh, you probably don't have it over there. They make you stretch out your arms and check under your armpits.
Do they?
Yeah.
I think beard would be a good place. You got a big beard. People don't expect people to hide things in beards.
Okay, I'll try the beard then, because everyone's saying the beard's better than the boot. There's so much room in the boot. You can even put a bomb in a boot.
There's too much room in your beard, I think, isn't there?
It could look like a sort of hair adornment thing. If it...
Oh yeah, that's right. Because the thieves' tools are basically just like
Bits of
thin
wire.
pieces of wire. Yeah,
Mm.
so you wouldn't even notice it.
It's actually a really good idea, you know that. Okay, so all right.
Yeah.
Is it going in the beard? Is this the?
Yep, we'll do the beard. Because the wire doesn't have the wire can be just like in the beard. So okay, so does that mean I get an advantage? Let me roll again.
You can roll again, yes.
Now, do I roll again with these dice, or do I get new dice? This is the question. I'm thinking 3 times the bad luck in a row. There can't be a 4th time. There cannot be a 4th time.
Well, I think your other roll. That'll do.
There was not a 4th time.
Excellent. Okay, they do. They'll take your weapons off you. So you've just sort of got your normal clothes on there. They check under your armpits and they take your boots off and look in your boots. Although they're probably a bit smelly, so they don't, overdo it. Jungle boots and all that. And then they, lock you up. They put you into a small wooden compound at the base of the tower there, and a couple of guards stand guard outside. And you keep your lockpicks.
Okay. I shout out, guard, do I get any food? The other guy got bread and water.
Shut up in there. I'll get Ord and he'll say what's become of you, though. I think you should have a lashing for nicking of food.
I didn't nick any food. Anyway.
And in contrast to these events, outside in the pleasant jungle countryside, the birds are softly chirping. There's a nice cool breeze blowing in the evening in your face, Sana. Is very comforting. What would you like
Cool.
to do?
She will leave any unneeded equipment back at the boat. Basically, pared down to the minimum for scouting. Basically built for speed at this point. Just make sure that Jade is in good condition, that she's fed as well, so she can keep her attention on the hunt. And once that's done, just go off a slow jog out into the jungle. Essentially, probably maybe quarter of a mile inside the tree line, and just she's intending to do a perimeter of the around the camp, essentially riverbank to riverbank, north and south. So out to the west, south around, and then back east, back toward the river.
Good call. A perimeter sweep of the camp. Okay, so make me a. Going to be a well, you can't get lost, can you? But I suppose we can do a.
Survival's probably still worthwhile doing.
Yeah.
Because I'm foraging for herbalism supplies at the same time.
Okay.
So I need to do a survival check, and it's jungle survival first.
Then he falls down a pit.
I get advantage on this though,
Why did you not click advantage?
because I forgot to. But that's okay. 13 on the survival.
Yeah, that's good.
Stealth. I've got inspiration. I'll probably use advantage on stealth just to make sure. Not bad. And obviously, I need to identify the right herb, so I assume that's herbalism. Do with those what you will.
All right, you melt into the jungle. This is after trailing around with these clunking loud people. It's probably very refreshing to be out alone once more under the and in the jungle, and you move swiftly and sort of with ease, melding in with the jungle. With Jade following you, she looks really happy about the whole thing.
Keep chirping at her to stay quiet.
She
Keeps making excited noises.
She goes into hunting mode, something that comes natural to the Velociraptor. She kind of, gets on your wavelength and knows that you are at the moment hunting, and she moves stealthily quiet. Okay, you will find some herbs, which will find that will be helpful to you. And you also will notice around this area there are quite a lot of undead tracks, bony footprints of skeletons which are probably ancient, sort of 100 odd years old. These are not new skeletons at all. Certainly nothing with any footwear. You're looking at bare boned feet. However, there is one that you will find which is different. This one is shoed, a fairly light indentation in the mud, indicating it's perhaps a thin male or a female, with some weight to it. Certainly not a skeleton. There's some flesh to this one.
How long ago? How old is the track?
The track is probably, because it rains so often and often the mud, the tracks get covered in mud. You think probably this afternoon. You're about northwest of the camp, a quarter of a mile northwest of the camp at the moment.
Okay. This afternoon, so they could be quite okay. I'll detour. Quietly and cautiously follow that particular track.
Okay, how long do you wish to do this for?
Probably no more than an hour.
Okay. Bear with me one moment. Check something.
How badly will your death go? That's what I'm wondering.
Oh, you are lucky. Just wanted to
Stealth
check,
25.
just wanted to check something out. So get you a map all of your own.
Ooh.
Maybe the herbalism was didn't pick up the plant that eats you.
Yeah. You managed to identify the plant that you need next to the plant that looks exactly the same, but is deadly poison.
So we've got a character in prison because he was accused of citing rebellion. We've got 2 characters in a tent citing rebellion, and then we've got me accused falsely of eating food.
Who actually tried to steal some.
Yeah, the only ones. The only
The
ones
only one
who are innocent.
actually. Yeah, the only one. Well, not innocent, but the only one actually guilty of a real crime so far. Because planning to incite rebellion isn't generally a crime.
Is it not?
Actually inciting rebellion depends on the. I suppose it depends on the policeiness of the police state, doesn't it?
Yeah, conspiracy to something or other.
Yeah, that's the thing in America.
Roll us 2d6, John. You want low.
What was that?
Could you roll me 2d6, please? You would like low.
Oh, it's a low average.
I'm drowning under windows.
Yeah. We've got 3 different kinds of windows because we've got 3 different plots going on, I'm assuming.
Yes, you have. It's the thing where people split up. I like people splitting up because it's fun, but
You know, this is all because of Gaz. You put the character somewhere so you didn't have to use him. Now everyone's gone crazy.
it is, yeah. It's all actually my fault. As was mentioned earlier today, it all happened because of me. It's my own.
Yeah.
Suck it up. Nearly there.
It's all right.
When Gaz sees this, he's going to laugh his head off because I got put in prison because I was trying to get food to make his character jealous.
Yeah.
It is going to make
He's
his
going to
week.
go, he's going to be like, karma.
Yes, it's going to like make his whole week that.
I was considering kicking off Primeval Awareness, but when we're absolutely certain that there are undead in the area, it doesn't really help being able to find out, do you know what? There are undead in the area.
True. Where it might help is finding out where the borders of cursed areas are and things, because as you start to unveil the map, the hidden bits on the map a bit later, it'll probably become more useful. I'll see whether you're in an undead area or not. But anyway, okay, so I'm just going to
Big
share
6
this
mile blobs.
for the benefit of the stream. Actually, I could share this map just with Sana, but I'll share it with everyone just because it's being recorded. Alright, so the shadows are lengthening, and because of the thick forest canopy here, it's pretty much dim light now everywhere. As you creep up silently, as you're so stealthy, You don't make a sound as you creep closer, and you see figures up ahead. They're all standing at the moment completely motionless, staring vacantly into space. There are 6 skeletal warriors armed with various ancient weapons. What's the weapon called?
Falchion,
Sword.
short sword, long sword,
Uh,
rapier.
the spear thing that's...
Oh right, yeah, I know the one you mean. Yep,
The spear.
forgot the name of it. No, an ad's not the right one, but
Okay.
it's the local weapon.
Yeah, the tribal spear. And they're holding those, the skeletons, but in the centre of them there is a woman. Her hair is wiry and coarse and looks like it's been falling out of her head from her scalp in patches. She has an aura of darkness around her, and there's a moulded dress which sort of clings to her skin. From her light, a sort of pale blue radiance emanates from her eyes. She looks
Okay.
like that.
That's Nyala.
They're all standing currently motionless. What do you do?
Checking something. Can't remember. I need to check something. Yep, I haven't got a third or fourth level spell slots yet. It's not worth doing that on her. I will take my measure of her. I will spend a few seconds to memorize the location, the wanderer background. I've got the knowledge of the land and whatever, so I should be able to easily find my way back to this particular location.
Yeah, you'll find this.
And then probably no more than about 5 minutes spent observing them, and then I just silently melt back into the shadows away and double time it back to the camp.
What you see as you observe them is eerie in the fact that it's just unnatural, unhuman. They're all standing sort of perfectly motionless, as if sort of statues. You will, however, see them sway occasionally, and which proves that they are animated and not statues, but they appear almost in a trance of some description.
They're waiting for something.
They're upgrading the software.
Downloading.
Yep, so I've got a number. And 6 skeletal warriors. Cool. Successful scout foray. As I said, head back.
I was checking to see whether they could sense life, is what I was doing, or whether she could. That's the point. So you do manage to get away with
In
it.
the middle of a jungle.
Yeah, I guess, but
Pretty much
yeah.
camouflaged in amongst the rest, but yes.
Millions of little insects, but yeah. Anyway, you turn around and head back, do you?
Yep, I'll head back to the point where I found her original track, the boot prints, and then I will, as long as there's there might be the light could be fading a bit too much now, unless it's a clear night with a decent moon. I'll probably head back, unless there's decent light, at least dim light.
Okay, so you head back. Yeah, there's dim light. I mean, the sun hasn't completely set at the moment. It's just because as the jungle gets thicker, the canopy gets more dense, and it just really blocks out the light. All right, so you've gathered some herbs. Jade's really enjoyed her run around, as have you probably, in the clean.
Yep, taking her for a walk. In a good
jungle.
mood.
And we'll go back to the conspirators, I guess. So
Well, when I'm back at the boat, I don't know if he'll just sit there waiting or if he'll try and attract someone's attention. But he doesn't want to go back into the camp. So the only thing I can think of is to fire an arrow in, and that might be a bit alarming.
How many hours, though, was that you right there, though?
I don't know.
it is.
Let's say whatever happens, I'm back at the boat. Not moving.
Yeah, it'll be a while before you get back. Probably after dark. It's going to be.
No worries.
That's when Santa gets back. However, we're going to have to roll back time a little bit because sort of about 7 o'clock, the
I love this. There might not even be a camp there when I get back.
yeah, you get back and just everyone's dead. What went on?
But I found the bad guy.
And I've got some herbs.
The two of us are safe because we're in prison cells and no one can get near us.
So, Glimmet, Warblin, what would you like to do, sirs?
Right. I was just going to be sort of assessing the situation and see what happens. Be ready to assist wherever I might be needed.
Okay, you'll have seen the commotion with Barlin being carried off. I presume you weren't going to intervene, or were you?
No, he's not worth it.
Okay. You'll watch him sort of get locked up. So, yeah. Glimmet, what would you like to do?
Well, because suggestion is a concentration spell, I can only cast it on one person. So I was thinking of trying to cast it on Ord, and then persuading him to persuade the commander,
Well,
which could go interestingly.
Well, the commander doesn't really seem open to listening to anyone.
No, this is the problem. He's gone insane.
I think you should just try to persuade Ord normally, because he might be actually open to convincing. Whereas we know the commander isn't. If the worst happens, you can always clock him one around the back of the head and knock him out so he doesn't interfere.
Yeah, or I could charm him, but that lasts an hour, and then he'll know he's been charmed. I need help.
What would Glimmet do? That's what you have to decide.
Well, all right, okay, let's try and not use suggestion on Ord. Let's persuade him.
Should I do that then?
I think you should.
I think you should try.
I don't think Charisma 5 Glimmet should try.
Yeah, that's probably so. Right then, is he still guarding the guarding?
He is, yeah. Just zoom in the map a little.
They're all invisible again. All the lads. All those lords.
Can you share the map?
We share the map.
All the guards went invisible for me. I don't know why that happened.
Oh, I took them off for a bit because I was messing around with the skeletons.
Oh, okay.
It was just going to make the combat tracker too confusing. They're still there though, don't fear. Okay. Okay, so you'll head up to the put him in yellow to start off with. Head up to the prison where Lionel is kept. You'll see he's tied, he's bound by his hands and ankles with rope, and he's sitting up the corner here of this small cell. Standing by him, sort of grinning, is a stocky dwarf carrying a longsword, and he has got a flaming red beard, probably why he gets the name Ord Firebeard. He'll turn to you and says, you've come to visit the prisoner then?
Well, in a sense, actually, I wanted to have a word with you.
With me?
Yep. You do seem quite loyal to this this commander of yours.
Niles, of course I am. I've fought with him many times. He's not really a good fighter, but his heart's in the right place, and he's always done well by me and my family.
still, haven't you perhaps noticed him becoming a bit unhinged lately?
He'll be okay. He'll be all right. It's well, desperate times and all that call for desperate measures, don't they? You've got to be strict in times like this, otherwise you'll lose the respect of the men. And if you lose the men out here, then we're all done for.
Well, to be honest, I'm not sure he has that respect at all. I've heard mutterings.
Muttering too.
Well, I'm not going to mention any names, but it's clear that not everyone here is as dedicated to him as you are, especially in these times.
Well, we need to maintain the chain of command and root them out.
Well, can you afford that though? I mean, this whole operation seems to have been undermined quite a lot already. Can't really afford any purges.
Well, I have to protect him. He's my friend.
Well, if
So you want to be mindful of any talk of mutiny.
well, I tried.
Well, you can make
That
a
clever
persuade
guy.
roll.
Um,
There is something he's got which will persuade him.
Something he's got.
Well, I perhaps phrased that wrong, but
Might be able to persuade him if you roll. Probably weak to persuasion. He's probably easy to persuade.
you can make a persuade roll indeed.
Okay, I'm going to do that. And
But there's like a line of a sort of an angle you can take with him, which is particularly effective on him. But,
It's food. Tell him it gets better food. You can't hear me. I'm in a different cell.
is it something along the lines of him clearly being under a lot of not being in a good place and him needing help and not being able to work as a good commander right now? Something along that. I don't know.
he seems a bit more responsive to that. He has been under some strain. I am a bit concerned for him.
Yeah, I know. I've seen. Well, I haven't been in the jungles myself, but I know what war can do to people, and I've heard tales of these maddening jungles.
Aye, you're
Even
right.
the best of men can lose it.
Okay, so the sort of taking a more sympathetic angle towards his health of Niles. If you want to, you can make me a persuade roll with advantage this time.
Oh, nice.
Ooh. Wait, so
It's
I
nice
don't have
go
to
for
spend
you.
my inspiration on that?
No, you don't need to spend inspiration on that. I gave you advantage because you is basically how I work a lot of the social stuff as people have goals. All my NPCs will have a goal they're trying to do, or things that are important to them. And if you hit on that thing, I'll give you a bonus or perhaps give you advantage to the check or something. So you did that. Cool. Okay. So he'll nod. He looks a little sad really about what sort of become of his friend. So I worry if he stays out here, stays in command much longer, it'll be the end of him. You're right. If the men are talking against him, he could end up with his throat slit or well.
Your words, not mine. But yeah.
What do you think needs to be done?
Well,
Can I pop out of my barrel and walk up?
You can.
Yeah, definitely. How about
You're in a barrel, were you? Sorry, I missed that. Really cunning.
well, I'm an outsider here. I don't really know how you want to deal with it, but you should perhaps talk amongst yourselves with. Well, I know a couple of people you might want to discuss it with.
If the chance meeting, eh, Warblin? Well, if the commander were to relinquish his command, would you support him in that? You know, for his own health.
He sighs and says, "Aye, aye, then I would, but for his health, as a temporary measure." I liked how you used the military aspect there, Warbling. You know, I've seen men in battles and stuff like that. Good. All right. So, what do you suggest we do? I was looking at you.
He's a wizard.
Harry.
Don't say that. I just we're going to have a little talk with him, and we'll see the outcome. Hopefully, it'll be all for the best, eh? Let us go and find him, Warblin.
I'll come with you.
Could
Best-
you release your prisoner as well? By any chance?
Well, I'm still obeying the law of the camp. We need to talk Niles down peacefully, get him to see if he can willingly relinquish command, and then whoever's in command of the camp has got the authority to release prisoners.
All right.
I'm not going against him. So I'm leaving Gaz locked up a bit longer. I'm Barlin. Sorry, Barlin.
Okay, Barlin's not in the prison. He's went back home and he's having a cup of tea.
He's feet up by the fire. Okay, while this is going on, Barlin, you'll be able to see through the cracks that Warblin and Glimmet seem to be talking to the grumpy dwarf. Or should I just say dwarf? You can.
Are they all wandering away? They all wandering away from the cell and leaving it unguarded?
No, not unguarded. There's one guard. He is
No,
alert.
not my cell. That cell, their cell, the one they're at.
It appears so. Is that what you guys are doing? You're heading over to the command tent?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, I will
Let's go to the plan.
exit my cell and head sneakily towards Lionel's cell. I have got a goal in my head and I'm not gonna let it go.
Alright, okay. I'll move the rest of you down to. You're heading down this way then. With Ord. For a meeting with the commander. And Barlin, alright, you've got a guard there. He's still looking watchful. You think you can pick the locks. You've got your wrists bound together with rope at the moment, though.
Oh, how do you get out of that then? I don't know what skill that is.
It'll be acrobatics, dexterity check to wriggle free. It'll take you a bit of time to do this. It'll take you a little while, but you can feel the bond sort of loosening. You're trying to slip your hands free, but they've tied them pretty well, so it'll take you 10 minutes or so to do that. So you'll have to delay what you want to do for a minute.
All 10 minutes.
What time were you two going to the going to speak to Ord?
Well, as quickly as possible, I imagine.
Okay, so Santa's still out, I guess. Okay. All right.
No
So,
worries.
sorry, Santa.
Said no worries.
You're in the safest place with the undead.
Oh yeah, completely.
You probably are actually. There's a lot. All right. So you open the tent door, and inside you find Niles. There's his image again, just in case you lost it. He's sitting on a rather now battered and a little bit muddy looking cushioned chair which had been sort of shipped across from the Sword Coast down here. He looks up from behind his desk, says, Ord, and then his eyes narrow as he sees you two. What have these two done now? He says to Ord.
Thank you for seeing us, Commander. Is it possible that your loyal Lieutenant Pern could be present?
Yeah, well, he could have got Pern as you went in. If you wanted Pern be there, I'll bring her along.
Can Ord go and get Pern?
Ord looks at you. You wish me to get her? Very well. He says he pauses for a bit. He's really trying to size up how much he trusts you, and then heads out, thinking if you're here to assassinate him, you'd have probably tried it by a different route. Okay. So Ord goes. Niall stands and says, "So you, what business do you have?"
I'm going to cast suggestion on him.
Okay.
Should I say how I word it, or do you want to see whether he saves that makes the save first?
How you word it would be nice. Just because.
For the good of your men and for your own health, you should relinquish command to Pern. Yeah. That sounds reasonable.
That's cool. All right. If you want to, I think you should be able to force him to make a save if you want to.
Yeah, I'd like him to have rolled a 9, and I'm hoping this is this is good enough. I'm hoping he doesn't have a +6.
What's the stat he's checking against? Wisdom.
Wisdom.
So his bonus to his wisdom save, he's going to roll a 9, is he?
Yeah.
And what's the DC?
15.
He says, sucking his breath just to make it a bit dramatic. His wisdom bonus is actually just +2, so he succumbs to your suggestion. He crumples down on his seat, and his hands fall into, his face falls into his hands, and he actually begins sobbing a little. And he said, "I can't take it. I can't take it anymore. I've lost so many." And he starts listing off names. They're all dead. They were here. They were dead because of me, and I've tried to keep them safe. I built these walls, but everything is crumbling. There's just madness and sickness here, and his words get sort of lost in amongst his breakdown.
Glimmet goes over and starts patting his hand and muttering, there. You did your best, but he doesn't. He's obviously not very charismatic or sympathetic. He's
Genuine.
He's just more pleased that magic has worked. He's kind of taking the scientific attitude.
There. That was good. Good job we got the magic. Okay, Pern and Ord will return in here, and they try and console him and do a bit of a better job at it than you do. But you did try. And
Just got this image of this really happily pleased with himself gnome beaming and just like panning going, oh no, there, it really worked. Did you see that? Really? Yeah, there.
yeah, it's a really touchy moment, but he's like dead chuffed with himself. Brilliant. All right.
Oh, now, the thing is, this spell lasts until the activity is completed, or 8 hours.
Okay, well, it won't take that long for the activity itself to be completed. Really, he needed a nudge to make him sort of loosen his resolve, or maybe snap him slightly enough out of the madness, a moment of clarity to enable him to realise that he was not indeed fit for his command post that he got. Between them, Ord and Pern decide that Ord will take over command of the camp here, and Ord will release an order to release the prisoners, and he calls you forward and apologise. I'm going to go back, actually. Sorry, he will do that, but that'll take a little while, and in the meantime, sorry Barley, you have escaped from your bonds. What do you want to do, mate?
Escaping the cell and going to race towards, since everything's, or heading towards the, stealthily heading towards the, what do you call it? The other cell? Barlin. No, not Barlin. Lionel.
Okay, you need to pick the lock on the door, and you need to sneak past the guard.
Okay. Am I there? Did I make it? Did he spot me?
No, did he Xbox? You roll 20, 22 and 24. That's brilliant. Okay, you managed to slip your bonds after a while. You'll pick the lock. When the guard isn't paying so much attention, he's actually standing opposite the guard tent, and there's lots going on in the guard tent. He's like really intrigued what's going on there. You manage to sneak out, and under the cover of the darkness that there is here now, you'll manage to creep into Lionel's cell, and you're just going to torment him, aren't you?
What I was going to do was actually open his cell, walk into his cell, and then close the cell doors, and then sit beside him and go, well, that was easy.
All right, you'll do that.
Let's see if I can pick his lock.
Casually, you can do it flashily. Like, you know, with one hand.
Let me sit down. That was it. That's me.
You just kind of wave your lockpicks in the lock a bit, and you know, it clicks open. You go and sit down next to him. Have you not brought him some meat?
Oh, sure, I didn't get to steal any. I basically the only stuff on me is my lockpicks because you took everything off me.
Sorry. Alright, well, you don't have to wait there too long before the guards will come and enter. Ord will enter the room. He says, it seems we've had a change of command. I am now the commander of Camp Vengeance. There'll be some changes beginning with your release. Please accept my apologies for how you've been treated. It was Commander Niles was not himself this day.
Did you say you are? Did the dwarf said that, Ord?
He did. I am now the commander of Camp Vengeance.
Oh. Yes, well, it's one of them. Got the double proficiency thing, whatever you call it.
Shouldn't you have +7 then?
I have got +7. I've been rolling the wrong skill. I've been rolling sleight of hand instead of thieves' tools. Oh,
Well, anyway, it's Rome. Just curious.
I'll take you 20 anyway. But,
Yeah, I don't think it mattered on those particular rolls.
they're all decks. I just had to add an extra 2 to both of them. Oh well. That's what happens whenever you forget that you've got a thing called thieves' tools.
So, are you staying in that cell?
Oh yeah, I went into the cell to show him how easy it was to get out of the cell, and I sat down beside him and said, "There we go." I didn't want to get
You
arrested
escaped
outside
in
the
order to
cell.
swap cells.
I didn't want to be I didn't want to be like an escaped prisoner. I just wanted to be, a wise ass prisoner.
Is it possible to bar that like the cell door from the outside?
Did I make it? Where's my first page? My
Nope.
page, come on. No.
I've not quite finished yet. Because that would be excessively mean, wouldn't it?
35 XP away.
Does the camp stay all nice and quiet until just after nightfall?
There you go.
Yay! The extra XP for winding up Lionel. That's the whole point of this.
Yes, extra HP for winding line up. And to answer your question, Sani, yes, you return and the camp is... there's actually an atmosphere of relief going around. You'll notice that people are drinking. The men seem a lot more at ease than they have done previously. You'll actually hear some laughter from around the place by the time you arrive.
What's going on?
Definitely.
The sound of drinking is what encourages her to come back more than anything else. And she will do so, and she'll look around for Warbling, Glimmet, and Barlin, and Lionel.
They're probably all around a campfire here, sort of drinking. Pern will be missing. She's actually comforting Niles.
I've never met this dwarf, have I?
I don't think you have actually. You have. You've saw him. He was one of the ones who arrested Lionel.
Yes, very cool. What's going on?
Oh, we fixed the thing.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. It was easy.
I found Nyala.
Oh, is that good?
Well, Pern said that, or was it Sister Sias? Said that she was a minion devotee spawn of. I've forgotten his name already. The other one we're looking for, the one who's got a thing at Razni, and was the one causing this camp so much trouble.
Do you figure we could take her on?
I do not know how powerful she was, but she had 6 skeletal warriors with her.
Oh, it doesn't sound too hard.
We could go now, or I'm confident I could find my way back there, or we could leave in the morning.
As you are, I'm going to leave it on a light note then tonight as you are sitting around the campfire discussing what your plans are for the future and helping this camp. The screen goes black and the credits begin to roll, and you get the famous words "continued next week."
We don't get an after credits scene.
You get Lionel waving his fist saying, "Just wait till I get back. Just wait till the one ring, I'll have you back."
I'll inform Ord of the fact that I've found the being that is apparently plaguing their existence. It wasn't too difficult. She was just in the jungle.
She has ambushed us on many occasions. You must be very skilled, very skilled scout, Sana.
The jungle is my preferred environment.
I understand that Niles asked you this question under duress, but I'm going to ask you as a favour between friends. Would you be willing to perhaps help us if Niala could be removed? The undead here would be much less of a threat.
Well, Razni's minions are my enemies. I would do it anyway. I cannot speak for my friends.
If we can wrest any information from her, maybe she knows something about the death curse.
This is true. She is uncannily intelligent. And there, I really will leave it.
Because I'm sure we know what Lionel will do, and Warblin and Barlin just need payment. Or is Barlin now in a good mood because he actually got some food, I'm assuming?
I know he's in good mood because he got observant.
Oh, because you literally just leveled, yes.
So I can now read people's lips. If they're speaking a language I know.
The feet, observant.
Yeah, observant.
What else does it give you?
Increases your intelligence or wisdom by 1 to a maximum of 20. If you see a creature's mouth while it's speaking a language you understand, you can interpret what it's saying by reading its lips. And you have a 5+5 bonus to your passive wisdom perception and a passive intelligence investigation scores.
Ooh,
which is
you're
handy.
A trap detector.
Literally.
Yeah, no longer will I be able to make you fall down holes. That's no fun, is it?
It is fun for me for not falling down holes.
But no fun for me, spoil sport.
Yeah.
No, it's a good choice, well done.